Hello.
Hello. Hey, Stefi.
Yes.
I don't know if I could introduce you or if you can introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm Stefanie from Uslar. I come from Germany. I'm half French, half German. And I live here already 32 years. The first time I came here was with my mother for holidays. I was 8 years old. And the second day I said, that's the place I would like to live. I fell in love straight away, not with a man, with the island.
Really? So you stayed here?
Not
for you came back?
I came back later on when I was a little bit more grown up. First, I studied graphic design and history of art. The beginning was not that easy because, of course, I couldn't work in my profession. So I worked first on the beginning on the service in restaurants. Then I worked on the airport. My new home, for me, it's my new home. And the culture and the beauty of this island of Corfu and Grace.
How was it at the beginning when you came here? I mean, like, you didn't speak the language, I assume. You know, so you were just a completely foreign body to this island. So how did you start?
Actually, it was, yeah, that was a bit tricky. And I started also as an au pair. And I took care of a child and I was teaching the child English and French. And she taught me some Greek for communication. And slowly, step by step, I learned the language as well. And
how long did it take you to learn Greek?
I didn't learn it actually. It was like a child, suddenly I started to speak in Greek. It was really very strange. And that's the way I learned somehow the language. But still, I just live with my sweet doggy. He's around us now. Let's say Corfu is a small island and it's a small community. And as a woman alone, you're always a bit like a red tissue. That means the people are nice, always friendly, but you don't become easily a member of the society.
I mean, have you never in these 30 years met a really nice guy you'd like to be with, or what happened, you know?
The mentality is quite different because the men here, sorry to say so, they're a bit spoiled.
Okay.
And mostly the
in
mothers...
what way is that?
The mothers, they educate them in a special way that say the man is always the male member of the family, is always the little prince.
Mm-hmm.
So they spoil them a bit. And the thing is also because we have this tourism here that they see foreign women sometimes like just like an adventure. And sometimes also it's not easy to handle the family. They're not so keen of the idea that the boy is getting married to a foreigner. Mm-hmm. It's another mentality. I mean, I found out in Germany I didn't feel well, never, because I was more the free spirit and I love the generosity and of the climate, of the landscape and everything, and I feel free. But the society here is quite conservative, and I found out also when I started to work with Greeks that I am quite German in 3 ways. I'm on time, I work with a system, and when I say something, I do it. Okay. Here, it's a bit different. They say always avreo, that means tomorrow. And it's really easy going here, and many times I'm not punctual and you have to wait. That's what I had to learn here, to be patient. The Greeks are amazing in doing improvisation, but mostly they do it the last moment, and sometimes it can drive you crazy.
Okay. Maybe you realized already quite at the beginning that sort of a relationship with a Greek man would not be the ideal relationship for you, but is the love for the island so big that you actually sacrificed your private life and stayed here, you know, because, you know, after, I don't know, 5 or 10 years, you would think like, maybe there's nothing for me, but you're still here.
Every day, and I see the beauty of the island, I fell in love every day, again and again. And actually, even I'm alone, of course, I'm not pleased about that, but I must say I don't regret it one day that I moved to Corfu. No, I don't regret it because the quality of life is wonderful because it's a beautiful island, you can feel free. And especially now the situation that everywhere is tricky and even dangerous and so on. No, it's very cozy. It feels home. Mm-hmm. It feels home. And I know also a lot of nice people, especially the older generation, that they're really generous in their attitude, and they have warm hearts and they're really nice. And
your main thing is that you're an artist, right? So
yes.
all the pictures here, paintings,
yes,
that's your work. I'll take a video of this little gallery here later on. Can you make your living with this?
Actually, years ago I had a proper gallery, and also I met the aristocracy of Corfu, and now they are quite old, and they bought several paintings of mine. I think in my life I sold already 1,000 pieces. I had some orders. I prefer now orders. I tried to live from my art 2 years, but that's impossible. For me, it's time to change, and I'm involved also with other things. I did also Airbnb. I was the first one doing Airbnb in Corfu town. I met amazing people. Now this stopped, but still I have a lot of contacts, and they ask me when they need something, if they want to see nice places on the island, if they want to buy land or a house. And that's what I want to do now more, especially because I'm a creative person. I did also decoration for weddings with flowers. Also this I did, and now I want to do more stuff like interior design.
Okay.
So if someone, for example, wants to buy an old house, and I have also great workers, because it's also very, very difficult to find really good workers.
I know that, yes.
And so I have a good team as well, and I hope that I'm going to have success to do this, to help the people to find a place, also to arrange it. What I did now for a doctor from Germany, I helped him also with the documents, and I gave him a lot of advices, and now I did his house, interior design and ordering everything and so on. And this is now what I'm keen of doing, to do more or less interior design and so on. Yes.
Okay, so really you can actually help people from A to Z with everything. If they want to sort of move to Corfu and buy property, as long as they have a little bit of money to pay for the house and pay for your help and for all the renovations and all that. So that's no problem at all. I always wonder, how hard is it? Because you're one of the very, very, very few foreign women I know on the island who are not like married or in a relationship, you know, with either Greek or any other partner. So it must be quite difficult to survive by yourself, because, I mean, for people who don't know, I mean, like we have tourism here between 4 and 6 months in the summer. Yeah. But in the winter, most of the people have no jobs. So how difficult is it to survive here all year round?
Actually, I did also massage and reflexology. And for a long time, I had not even just one job. I had 2 or 3 jobs together. I was running the whole day. I can't do that anymore. I was really exhausted.
In the summer?
In the summer. And I had to make the money in the 6 months, 7, 8 months, to survive the winter time. Okay. To have the money for the rent for the winter time.
And did you always manage? All these 30 years you always managed?
I did, yes. When you live here, you have to be really very flexible. I did so many different jobs. But also these jobs that I loved, but I always did a lot of input, and the others had also very good profits, and I just took the crew a little bit of it. But I made it somehow. Okay. And you don't need a lot here like in a big city, except of course the rent and so on. But it's also nice if you don't have so much money, you can go for a wonderful walk with friends, you have a picnic, you can enjoy the landscape and so on. And that's why I'm here, because I love the nature and the beauty and Corfu town where I'm living in a historical center. I'm quite lucky that I have this beautiful apartment right in the center. So yeah, sometimes less is more. My dream was when I was 8 years old to move to Corfu. I made it. I was dreaming of it that I become a painter when I was 4 years old. So I can say...
You follow your dreams.
Yes, and if something happens, I can say at least I did my life the way I wanted. Okay. Even there have been difficulties too, but it was my decision to do it. And for this, I accepted even the difficulties, and I made it, and I go for it.
That's really nice. And tell me one last thing, I think, because you know Corfu, of course, very well. What is, if you had to name 3 things, I don't mean only places in Corfu, but 3 things you love about Corfu. It could be a place, it could be anything you want.
I love Corfu town because it has this Venetian style, And it reminds me even a city in Germany that I love, my favorite place, Heidelberg,
Okay.
because there's students and it has also this charm. Then the nature is amazing, the sea is amazing, the view is amazing. Also now that we have winter, you can see the mainland just opposite, and the sea doesn't look anymore like the sea, it looks like a lake, and you can see the snow on the high mountains on the mainland. It's really picturesque, and yeah, that I feel also free here, because I am free. I'm not in the system of a society. I was always a free spirit. That's what I love.
So these are your paintings. Can you tell me something about them?
Yeah, I love the nature. That's why I did also a lot of still lifes, and with the flowers that we have here. That's an exotic flower, Frangipani, Frida Kahlo, and the orchid. And now we have also the iris is blooming now. The white flowers. I do also orders. Now I have a portrait for a child, because I prefer now to work on orders. I do also wall paintings, and what I love is I do different techniques. I did also restoration of an old ceiling. And here we have my new technique. It's in acrylic and with sand. The statues of the Greek history, it's quite known. And also, of course, the mysterious olive grove and out of the sheep. I have different techniques.
I think that's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.